why is it so easy to bend the pitch in the upper register, and the lower you get, the stiffer it is?
It's not exactly true. As Jerry mentioned, he bends the pitch on the altissimo. It's not that easy. So it's true that it's easier, let's say the mid-range, the high, normal high range than the lower note. For just one reason, you need a lot of support. More hair for the lower note. You need more hair going slower. And slower frequencies. The whole waves are slower, so you have to bring your hair slower. Most of the time, while you find your support on accelerating the hair, because then you have the counter pressure and you feel you have more strength. If you have to keep this support, slowing down the hair without putting pressure, then you need to have it build up inside. So you need a lot of support. That's why it's a very good exercise. Also for the pitch, also for everything to play, chromatically from the lower note, like just by the embouchure, going half step low, like oh, and try to keep exactly the same tone color, because then you need a lot of support. When I used to practice, that was really part of my daily routine. That was one of the first things, and then the harmonics. I saw some cats very strong at that. Some cat came and played their mouthpieces, playing all the scales, 12 scales, on 2 octaves, only on the 5 bottom keys of the saxophone. All on the harmonics. And like up tempo, just 5 keys. So if you are able to do that, you don't have any more problem producing any type of song anywhere on the sound. That's a piece of work. And so one very good exercise to control everything is A, B, C, D, E, B. That's right. Because we don't say it like that in French. La si do re mi, la do si la si do re mi. Just legato, slow, at medium volume. Real legato, you don't hear any step from one note to the other. Keeping exactly the same tone color while you switch octave, while you have the 4th finger. If you can do that, no more problem, no more technical problem supporting hair, whatever on the sound. That's very, very good exercise. And it's rare because I don't do that so often, but I used to teach song exercise and things with students. And that's the first thing I ask to a player. Play me that. Legato, mezzo forte, slow. And you can immediately tell the level of control. I wouldn't say musical level, but level of control of the instrument. Everything is just in there. So do those exercises. I know that. It's some work.
And I missed that yesterday. I was out. What are the pronunciations? Are there 3 or 4 or 2? Or
as many as you want.
What's an example of a few?
All the voiles. All the voiles.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't really explain that yesterday. I explained other things, but that's also a very good exercise to develop the sound. As you can use the resonance of the mouth cavity like this. You can do that blowing your instrument, and you can give to hear the voiles in your song. Like you can play O or U or E. Also, will make function different muscle chains. E is not difficult because you just use the frontal resonators. You use those muscles, and you do that. You can see all the players playing up there, the altissimo, and they have the fingers like that. They might play with the flat fingers, and they may fingers are like this. And also the nails, you see the toes. The toes like this, the way, because it holds the muscle chain functions together. And this or this so you might be, okay, that's a long practice to be aware of all those elements, you know, and the way you use your body, but your body resonates, but also leads the hair stream a certain way. So it's like you could anticipate and already put a vibrating hair in the instrument, you know? So all those things are possible.
Yesterday in a private conversation, you shared with me an anecdote along those lines about Dexter Gordon.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
think that would be appropriate?
Why not? Okay. So as Jerry said this morning, we have a hero and we want to kind of duplicate their sound, and that's part of the work to really develop the sound. So, okay, my main inspiration has always been still Sonny Rollins. But I was great to hear Jerry mentioning the other guys. I was in the same hall with the same guys that really were important for me. But yeah, number third for him was Dexter Gordon. Might be second for me. And I really love the way Dexter goes down. I would say down in the cellar is really like, you know, even in the cave with a torch going. Really, and vibrant, and so. And I try to get this on. I pick up just a phrase going down, and I couldn't get this sound. So how is it doing? So I closed eyes and was really concentrated, produced the sound in my head, and I found myself being like this, you know. And that was rare. So, just doing that chant to sound. Like this. Wow. I had never seen at that time Dexter live. It was on recording. First time I went to one of his concerts. He was playing like that. I think he didn't drink water for the whole afternoon. It was like this. The tall guy was like that. Look at the people like this with the saxophone. I was very impressed. So I realized way more from that experience that all you do with your muscles and your body, it's like yoga. It really has influence on the sound you will produce.
Francois, I wanted to ask you about the sorry.
You keep your question?
I'll keep that.
Okay.
No, I was I tried out your lectures for the first time yesterday, and it just blew me away. So I was wondering if you could just speak a little bit about sort of the concept.
Okay, and maybe I get this question if it goes in a more interesting way to answer his first.
I was just going to ask you sort of in terms of the turbulence, particularly in tenor, as it moves into the neck, as the air moves into the neck. You know, in regards to you're talking about the surface, the roughness of the surface, as the air hits that first one and then hits the back of the neck before it goes in. Have you done any, you know, work on that in terms of like whether the surface is shiny or whether, you know, the points where the air hits are shiny or rough?
You mean in the neck?
In the neck itself, yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
What I've been doing is work really just here, you know. Okay, and you're doing the ring here. It's really working here. And there's a lot of influence. The way you will lead the hair into the neck.
Just right where it meets the neck.
Yeah, and don't make it too much. And also, if you know, I do it by hand and I put the muddies on and I play. And it just because that's a part in fact. If you have those turbulences there and while it goes in, if it's really close the inside of the neck because it doesn't stop there. So it's like, it's not free. You can. It's like pushing and the sound doesn't want to vibrate. And just by doing that, if you do it a little too much, it's going. But the thing is, the interesting thing, as soon as you reach the next multiple of the frequencies, it's function again. So if you do too much, you do a little more, it might be good. But do it very delicately and put the mouthpiece back on. So that's one thing we didn't mention when I talked about the position of the mouthpiece. Is also it changed the volume of the resonating chamber. So it makes it be a different mouthpiece that really react totally differently. So sorry answering further, but it was more in what we were discussing already. So about the ligatures, did you have a more precise question? Because also it's a lot of
Right.
concept, but you drew it away.
Yeah.
For what
because
reason?
Because I was playing on a Rovner before, and then I tried the silver version of it, and just it opened up my sound completely, especially on the high end. I played baritone most of the time. It was getting pinched, and it was like a different instrument, and like I could do things. It was solving problems that I didn't even think were related to the instrument that I thought were me.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, as we've seen, the conjunction of vibration of the reed with the mouthpiece is a very important element. So you play metal mouthpiece or?
yes, Otter Wing.
So you have the ultimate ligature.
Yes.
Okay. So the whole idea, first of all, the vibration propagated longitudinally in the mouthpiece, and the material that vibrates will give its mechanical vibration to the neck. If you use a ligature that surrounds the mouthpiece, it will just stop. It will damn the vibration of the mouthpiece. So the first idea was to have no transversal contact. So I made those pipes in contact with the mouthpiece. So it's only longitudinal. And all these two pipes that are wrong, going on the wrong surface, it's just one line of contact. And so I make pipes, brass pipes, because they are resonating pipes. If they absorb vibrating energy from the mouthpiece, they will regenerate it by vibrating by themselves. So it's no loss of vibration. That's one thing. The other thing is the contact with the reed. So this is with a stainless steel plate having a curve that's more pronounced at the curve of the reed. So it also only touches the reed on two lines. So the reed is free to vibrate on the whole length. And we mentioned that, okay, but the back of the reed, the fibers, they are going to the back, and they have a lot of effect on the way the cut part of the reed vibrates, So if also you damn that, it doesn't support the vibration here. It's like you're killing all this part of the reed. But this part of the reed is very interesting and very important, because every fibers from the tip goes back to the back of the reed, and it's really vibrating together, while the reed bends, it made it longer. So the fibers are, elongate, and then goes back and things. If you compress that, they are not free to do those movements. And then the reed is not free to vibrate properly on the whole range. So that's part of the thing. So it's really projects. So that was the idea of the design. So now on the pure brass, I replaced two of the pipes by rolls that are heavy, also a very small contact. Then they need more energy to be put in vibration than the pipes. They resonate also because that's brass and it's a resonating material that's the same as the instrument itself. Also the pressure plate on the reed is a thicker brass pressure plate, heavier, with the same curve as the reed, so it has to vibrate together with the reed. Also you have less pressure, because as it is a contact with the reed on a bigger surface, you have less pressure of contact. So it vibrates together. So the idea is to have it vibrate with more resistance. So it gives you the possibility to step in deeper in the tone quality, in the core of the sound.
Please join me in thanking Francois.